Along with me, we have our co host Akshit. Moving right along, it is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Ankit Gupta, sir. Hello, sir. It's an honor to have you on this Q&A session with an industry expert as a guest speaker.
Hello, Mr. Ankush. Thanks a lot for sharing everything about me.
So, before we move on to the questions, I would like to introduce you to our audience. So, Ankit Gupta, sir, is the assistant professor at IILM University. Also, he is the director of Space Station Automation Pvt Limited. Developing the automated software, embedded system, NLP, cloud management, IoT are some of the core domains where they have marked their presence. He is also the director of Gen Orion and Hexapol, two subsidiary branches of Space Station Automation. With over 4 years of expertise in the fields of embedded system, AI, and data analytics, he worked with the companies like Amazon and Cransets. His mind is an ocean of technologies, so let's learn from him today.
So, sir, first of all, we would like to know about your experience working in hardware oriented domains, and we would also like to know your experience as the director of Space Station Automation.
Uh, yeah, so I think can start now. So basically, it's a journey which I've started during my early years in the college itself, just like you guys. I just wanted to like learn as many technologies as I can. I'm from a computer science background, so my bachelor's was in computer science, but I was not restricted to learn only about the computer science, learning about the database, the website structuring, the UI, the automated softwares, the automated testing, and so on and so forth. Uh, I used to develop my interest at that time into the embedded systems as well. I found there is the possibility like how we can control their different hardware systems with the help of our programming. Uh, so at that time, obviously, we used to have the chance to get involved in the internships wherever we want. What I did, I went for the internships in some of the companies where we can work on the hardware. Initially, it was very difficult, no doubt. Being a computer science engineer, it was very difficult to understand about what microprocessors are, what microcontrollers are. It was just like a how let's say puzzle all the time that was going around. Even the questions used to be like, if you are in computer science, you can directly join the Google. Why are you here? Why do you want to delve into the hardware? Why this XYZ hardware you are looking forward to understand? I think that was the very crucial time for me to listen to myself, like what I want to learn instead of what others want me to learn. For a computer science engineer, I think we have thousands of opportunities, no doubt. Even people used to switch from other fields to computer science. Uh, Obviously, being a computer science engineer, I've never left that learning, but I started learning more things on top of it. During my final year, I found that I think this knowledge is not going to restrict myself. I need to learn more and more. There are a number of fields which I have to explore as well, and the most important field is going to be the aerospace, where we can challenge our skills, our learning, our technological advancements in every possible domain. Uh, from 1960 onwards, I think each and every human on this earth has been able to understand like we can actually be on moon at someday, right? So when the US was able to land on the moon, after that we were able to understand that humans are not limited with their just thinking skills; they can actually achieve more and more. That was a turning point in my life. But what I found that in India we cannot move directly into IITs for aerospace engineering. They are not going to support you at all. What I had to do, I had to apply to a number of universities in foreign country. Obviously, when you do not have the background in such a domain, universities are going to reject you. That happened to me as well. I received a number of rejections, but after that, I started working with my skills more, getting the certifications done, which are required for the aerospace engineering. I started learning more and more about the mechanical engineering, the composites, the designing, and so on and so forth. My CV started reflecting that I'm more into the mechanical and aerospace compared to what I was in computer science. Then obviously when your CV reflects more about something, people used to notice that. I got my acceptance from Cranfield University, one of the very renowned university around the world for the aerospace engineering. There were four other universities as well: Sheffield, Manchester, the Glasgow University as well. But obviously, if I have to move to the aerospace, there is one strong university which I had to. After completing my masters, I found that if I'm going to join a company, it's going to restrict my knowledge. I have to work on a specific project which they are going to give me for next few years. If I'm going to join PhD, again I have to do the same thing. Next for few years, I have to again work in a specific domain, specific project. Came back to India and started a new firm, Space One, as you all know, as just Ankush said about everything. But yeah, it's again restricting myself. Like again, I'm getting only and only into the space domain. It's not going to be something which I'm going to be like doing great with my initial degree. So my initial degree was in computer science. So what I did, I started a new company as well, the Genovan and the Hexapol. They are specializing in software development as well as in the hardware development. So Genovan is specifically regarding the automation systems. We know in 21st century everything is going to be automated within next few years, whether it's about the automated robots, it's automated cars, it's automated buildings, and so on and so forth. But we know that everything can be automated. Obviously there are some restrictions on the same, but yeah, we can do that, right? We may be like we are maybe restricted with the things, technology, I will say right now. But the technology is developing very fast. We all know that the change in the technology is exponential. So Genoa is working in the same field. Hexapol is trying to support it with the help of the software, the dashboard development, the cross-platform applications. We have different operating systems which restrict us to control the things. Everyone is not able to control the things from their mobile phones. If one is using iOS, the other is using Android, the third is using the Linux. Linux is something which only and only very specific people use. But yeah, there are some people who used to use Linux as well. So we need to understand there are like different type of people. There are different type of communities. There are different type of how let's say users around the world. But we do not want them to restrict with the technology. So Hexapol is working to uh, make this change possible for each and everyone to be on single platform by developing the cross-platform supports, cross-platform dashboards, something that we can connect with the hardware. There are different companies who are very good in hardware. There are some companies which are good in software, but there is no company which can connect together these two at a very good level. So we are working on that. Even the monopoly is out there, right? Monopoly, we all know about the Google and the Microsoft. They are having some kind of monopoly in the market. We also know about there was a time when Facebook used our information for their earning purpose, right? There was a time, and we are also aware that there was a 10-year challenge by the Facebook, who all have uploaded the photos for that. We fooled ourselves at that time that this is going to tell us about, oh, 10 years ago I used to look like this, used to look like this. After 10 years I'm going to look like this. Actually they were trying to generate the huge amount of data from you and trying, and they were wanting to sell it into the market. Okay. This was more of like a trick for them, for the youth, so that youth will be able to provide the data for free of cost to them. This is a ladder, actually, I will say, about the eras, about the ages. We all know about the Stone Age, Iron Age, right? Modern Age. But this is an information age. In this era, information is everything. If you have the information, you can become rich by the night. If you have the information, you can make other one poor at the very same night. We all know about the stocks. We all know about the cryptocurrency, right? Cryptocurrency does not have any how let's say anything which we can see. It's completely imaginary, right? It's just a set of codes which we are providing to some other person, and that person is able to keep it as like, I'm so rich, I'm that rich, I'm that rich. But at the same time we have to understand it's still a computer generated code. Janoran is having a specific motto: enhancing security and comfort. We are specializing in security first, and then we move forward. Cryptography is a part where we know that it can restrict one person, one user, to have his information to be saved in a specific way that other users will not be, other hackers and crackers will not be able to get that information. We need to understand there are always some smart people out there who can disrupt the technology. Right? iOS was hacked like 5 years back by only a 14 years old school student. Right? Obviously, it was a 5 year back when they found they were able to stop that student from doing the same. But we know that it can happen. Even the iOS can be hacked. So we need to understand we are in an era which is highly unstable. So that's why I think not just as me as a founder, all the other founders who are into this startup, they need to consider security as the main domain. We are playing with the bits which are just zeros and ones, but very soon we are going to have the quantum computing. And our company is also looking forward to start the research into the quantum computing as well. I'm not sure if you guys are aware about that quantum computing, but they are having the ability to disrupt our digital computing. In digital computing, we have only zeros and one, but in quantum computing, we have up to 14 bits within single, like 14 values within a single bit. So it is going to be exponentially much, much, much more faster than the digital computers. So if there will be some transaction which, for an example, Akshay is going to give the Ankush, we used to have a time window of let's say 1 and 2 seconds. During that, we used to have a 128-bit code, which the computers are not going to be how will I say decrypt within during this time frame 2 to 3 seconds. If it is not going to be transacted, the transaction used to be cancelled automatically, right? But quantum computers have this ability that within next 2 3 seconds it can disrupt. So we need to understand we are moving forward very fast, but if the technology is going to overtake, and that technology is going to be near any person who is not like how will I say not allowed to do something good with that, or not able to do something good with it. Just, or there are always some positives and negatives of everything, right? We had seen people working in a company, they are very loyal to the company as long as they are working. Within a night, if something wrong happens, they just want to disrupt the company. They have the ability to do that. So this is a very unstable era. Like within a night, within a second, things can be changed. Okay, so yeah, that's all what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to make things safer, smarter, comfortable, easier, affordable. So yeah, I will say there are so many things which we are trying to achieve at the same point, and we are very new into the same. But yeah, we have very long goals to move forward. I think that's very much from my side for the question which Akshit has asked.
Yes, so thank you, sir. That was very insightful. So, sir, you have experience in a wide range of domains. Like you said, you didn't want to restrict yourself.
Yeah.
So, our next question for you will be: what is the scope of robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, and related fields in India, and also research opportunities in the same fields?
So basically, these are some of the domains which are still evolving. Okay. I will give an example of 1950s when machines started coming, that industrial era started, the modernization started. The industries were trying to get the machines from the Western world in India, and the laborers they were so aggressive about it that they started developing the labor laws, and they started having the fights with the industry owners that why are you getting the machines, how our families are going to survive, how we are going to get things for us. uh, some were more of like how will I say trying to evolve with that, but some were more of like getting very like violent for the same. But we are in 2020s, right? Do we restrict ourselves for the jobs in the industries anymore? I don't think so. We do not need to go to industries for the work. We have so many opportunities here. Even just as a person who can do things with the MS Word, MS Paint, that person can still get good amount of money, a salary, good amount of salary, right? So the era is changing. We are not in some XYZ era where people used to work in the very same fashion. Things are changing, things are evolving. Our India's population has been doubled from 1950s to 2020s, and we can see we all are having some stable job, right? We are more literate compared to that time. We are having more resources. We are having less people who are below poverty line. Population is increasing, but we are also having more things to do. We are having more chances to support our life, I will say, right? Opportunities are increasing. So now let's talk about the robotics, AI, ML in the same field, right? We can see most of the students are choosing computer science these days. Hopefully in your college as well, most students are looking forward to get into the computer science. The only reason is we need these people to develop smart machines for us. There is a very high requirement for us that we do not want humans to work anymore. We want machines to work for us. We do not want laborers. We want smart laborers now. Smart laborers are those who used to develop the codes. They do not work with their body anymore. Previously we used to have like five labor to specifically like lift up something that is going to be heavy, but nowadays we have smart robots to do that. And for the same task we do not need specifically like a robot that is going to be restricted for 1 or 2 hours of work, like the laborers used to do that, no? After 1 or 2 hours they need a tea break, they need something to work upon, right? But the robots do not take break. They just need the constant energy. They need a time domain in which the heat energy can be dissipated at a specific amount of time, right? It's just like a computer system which you are having. You just need to use it smartly, and it will work entire day, right? So that robot can work for you. So the robotics having is having a very good opportunities which we can see in the coming era. Now the you can see the curves on a car, right? We have a streamlined body on the cars. Previously, when the humans they used to like hammer around these metal sheets, they were not very sleek, very designy, and very like how will I say curvy, right? But now we have machines to do that with a precision of 0.001 mm as well. But as a humans, we cannot do that. But with machines, yes, we can achieve that. Who is developing these machines? The again, it comes back to the humans. We are the one who are developing it. Okay. At the same time, we can see if we are going to have more smart machines, but require less people to keep an eye on the same. Okay, that is going to be much more easier for us to work around. For an example, if we talk about the agriculture, okay, we cannot have any human who can stay up all night in the farm, right? But we can have a machine looking forward to do the same entire night for the entire night. So here we can see an AI, an ML, which is working entire night, a robotics that is trying to save the farm entire night. Right. So these are some of the opportunities which we are looking forward. It's not restricted to one specific domain, one specific industry. All the industries are looking forward to get these people so that they can develop smart machines and smart algorithms for them. So I think that answers your question. Anything else, Akshit? If I
Yeah,
missed
so it is safe to say there are a lot of opportunities in these fields.
lots of opportunities, I will say.
Yeah, so students also face difficulty in deciding what all skills and how much to practice those skills for these to get industry ready or to start their own business or anything.
So basically, I will say there are no set of rules for that. If you have to learn something, you have to learn something. You already know everything that what you have to learn. For the 4 years of engineering, you will have all the subjects to choose from. If you like uh, embedded systems, you will have some courses on the same. If you like microprocessor, microcontrollers, you have that. If you want to learn about AI, you have that. If you want to learn about machine learning, you have that. You do not need to look forward to have a guide on top of you. You just need to look at your course back, There are 4 or 5 units. You have to see like these are the topics which you have to follow. Obviously, when you were in the classroom, being a professor myself, I used to teach specifically those things or those topics. Yeah, the specific the syllabus, which is what we have to cover. I used to only get like 1 hour in the class, and from this 1 hour, first 10 minutes is going to be like all the students are going to settle down. Last 10 minutes is going to be regarding the attendance. So I will have only 40 minutes, and during these 40 minutes, if the students are already like tired because of some previous classes, or maybe they have some other plans, they are not going to give their 100% inside in the class. The syllabus is going to be something which is going to tell you about what you have to do. It tells you about what are the different fields, opportunities, what are different books are there, what are the topics which you might can learn. Right? It's all about what are the things you can learn, right? But still, it is not going to prepare you for the industry. Industry needs hands-on skills, hands-on experience on the same. You have learned it, you have passed the subject, but you do not have the real, like how will I say, like real experience with that. You haven't developed it. Just know about it, but you haven't developed it yet. For that, obviously, we have the internships. We have the projects which you have to do. Right now, you have to selectively choose what you have to done. You have to do at that time. Second year onwards, you can directly go forward with the internships. Choose internships wisely. I remember I did 8 internships during my bachelor's itself. Uh, I was less in classes, more into the internship though. There was a point of time when I was doing 2 internships at the same time. It was very difficult, no doubt. It was very very difficult, and I still remember that time. I used to wake up till 2 a.m. in the night, working for my university for these internships. So I think if you want to learn something, you already have the syllabus, but to have the hands-on experience, you just need to get the internships done. Choose your project wisely, and most of the companies who are looking for the freshers, they know that you are not going to have like years of experience, but they want to know that you are going to have this kind of skill set, that you want to learn more and more. You have challenged yourself during your early 4 years or early 3.5 years, because the final last 6 months are going to be where you are going to go for the interviews. So for last 3.5 years, what you guys had done, they do not want to know about what you had done during your school. They want to know about what you had done during your last 3.5 years. They do not want to know like if you have scored 95%. They want to know like like were you able to get the hands-on experience on the things or not. You are going to become the engineers. You are not going to become the economic leaders, and how will I say, the good in arts and all. These are the subjects where people used to look for the like toppers, 99% marks holders. But for engineers, people, like companies are good enough. They are going to be very flexible if you have scored above 65 or 70. Okay, these are the average marks, but it's completely fine. They are not looking forward for the marks. They're looking more forward towards like if you had done something experimental at that time, like hands-on experience. If you even for the very start, they are going to test your basic knowledge, and you are going to get your basic knowledge done from the books itself. But when it comes to the real hands-on experience, they are going to ask you about your internships. They're going to ask you about your projects, mini and major projects, and then there is one more thing on top of it. That is like a cherry on top of ice cream. Like, had you done some projects on your own? So what were those projects if you had done? Okay, so these are some of the questions which challenge a student, as well as the person who is going to appoint you in his company. They are looking forward to understand. I remember there was a student whom I have interviewed. He was from IIT Bombay, bachelor's, IIT Kharagpur, masters. He was like very, very smart, but with that academics only. He did not had right amount of experience with the hardware. What I found, he said, "Sir, I am going to get 25,000 for my internship only. Why should I work with you? You are not going to pay me that much." I said that yes, obviously you are very very smart, no doubt. There is no doubt in that. But we are looking for a person who is going to have this much of experience to pay 25,000. I'm going to pay 25,000 to a diploma holder who is going to have 2 years of experience, hands-on experience on electronics, but I will not pay you 25,000 whether you are from IIT or whether you are from MIT or Cambridge University. I don't care about that. I care about if you are going to come to my company, will you be able to work on the things which we require or not. In the end, it's all about the job. If you can get the job done, obviously you are good for the company. If you cannot get the job done, whether you are from IIT, whether you are from Cambridge University, it doesn't matter to the company at all, right? So these are the few things which are going to make you industry ready, company ready. And on top of it, you might have seen some engineers used to move towards the MBA. Okay, the reason being either they do not want to work hard in the same, if you are from computer science or in the programming, if they are from mechanical to in developing the hardware, electronics to the in the electronics, what they want to manage the things on top of it. They have the basic skills, either they want to manage the things, otherwise they want to start the sales, because these are better way of earning instead of doing the hard work. So it depends on person to person how you want to get yourself ready for the company. I'm teaching in MBA as well in the university. I had seen students. I have like nearly 7 students who are from mechanical and in electronics, and 7 are from as well from the computer science. 14 engineers in total. Uh, Whenever I ask them like, why haven't you choose to join the industry after your bachelor's? So they specifically used to say, "Sir, itna hard work kaun karega? We do not want to do the hard work." So it depends. It just comes back to like what they want to do. Whether they want to just do the management thing, or they just want to do the real learning, for the whole life. Upskilling in engineering is very important. Each and every day there will be either a new software, a new hardware, new technology, a competitor. Like you will have challenges each and every day. I used to see a number of companies who registered during the lockdown itself for the home automation itself. People used to ask me like, "Sir, what is the difference between other home automation companies and your automation company?" I say they are in home automation, and I do not say I'm in home automation. I'm in automation only. We do not restrict ourselves in the home automation. Obviously, and home automation is a part of it, a slice of it, but we have broader challenges on top of it. It may can be like automating a whole smart city. It's a bigger challenge compared to like automating a small home, right? So we have bigger challenges on top of it. Obviously, on a very small level, it is going to come back to the same point. So I hope this is going to like tell you about like how you are going to be ready for the industry. There's certain things you have to challenge yourself. It's definitely not going to be something someone can teach you. It's not going to be something the syllabus can teach you. It's not going to be something the teachers can guide you. The placement cell can guide you. The internships can guide you. It's just you who can decide what you have to learn so that you can get ready. I remember I got rejected like several times, even like how will I say, I said for like 4 or 5 companies, but for the final interview, initial level they all clear, but in the final interview they do not used to select me by saying, "I think you are more capable into hardware compared to the software." Obviously, I was sitting into the software engineering. The companies were more related to the software engineering. So these people are very smart. The HRs are very smart. They already know what are the positives and the negatives of the student. So you cannot like how will I say, be more smarter than them because they have years of experience. So you just have to be smart. You do not have to be smarter. They will understand you. They have already gone through your CV. They know you very well. They know what you have learned. Before even taking your interview, I think they have already selected you based on what skills you have. Okay, so just try to reflect everything in your CV. It will be positive as an output in the long term. Yeah. Any other question?
Yes, sir. So, like you said, hands-on experience is very important. And personally, for me, I love doing personal projects. It's really fun and a really fun opportunity to learn a lot of things. A lot. One question a lot of our viewers had. was to how to get an industry internship, and that too, especially in DRDO.
Hmm. Okay. DRDO thing. So yeah. So getting an internship in DRDO is not an easy task, no doubt. I remember some of my friends getting the internship in the DRDO during their second and third year. I tried my I tried to get the internship in my third year as well. Um, but I think the procedure was not that straightforward. During my fourth year, what I did, I went to the Matt Cafe house for several days again and again just to meet any person who can specifically guide me like how to get the internship in the DRDO. Somehow I met a person and he said, बेटा ऐसे तो चक्कर ही काटते रह जाओगे, इंटर्नशिप ऐसे नहीं मिलती है. I said, uncle, I have already tried like several times. I came here, but I don't know like how to get the internship done. At that time, online application नहीं होती थी. I'm talking about 2016, 16, 17, 17, approx 17. Online applications were not the part of the same. Now we have the. So what he did, he said, okay, fine. What you can do here is there are number of boxes. You can drop your CV, your all the work which you had done so far, and if they are going to be received by a specific person, specific lab, then you will be allowed to come here. I said, okay, fine, but I had done this earlier as well. He said, okay, fine, what you can do is here now is like you can send all of these documents to me as well, and I will try to personally forward it to the specific how will I say, specific researcher or the scientist inside. I did the same. I sent email to that specific person, and I don't know, like after 3 months, I got an email that you have been selected for the DRDO internship. You have to come for the interview. I personally do not know like if that email worked or all the boxes in which I have dropped my CV and all that worked. Okay, so definitely getting an internship in DRDO is really difficult. Okay, I cannot actually exactly guide you like how it works. But nowadays you have one of the way that is going online. Second, if you can somehow connect with a scientist, directly apply to him, and I think LinkedIn is a better way of doing it. If there is someone who is mentioning that he or she is the scientist at the DRDO, okay, you can directly send the email if the email is mentioned on the LinkedIn. Otherwise you can send a request to connect on the LinkedIn, or send a message that I want to work under your guidance, under your supervision. That is one of the way. Secondly, if you have any connection, that is going to work, because this works really best. I remember there was a girl in my class, in my she was a classmate, and what I found that her father is one of the scientists in the DRDO. She got her how let's say internship in DRDO in second year. There onwards, she got a place. She got internship in how will I say this IISC Bangalore. Okay, not sure how. So these are some of the things where your connections might can work. Okay, but if you have no connections, I did not have any connection at that time as well. So I think you need to find someone. You need to get a network done. And network best way of networking is LinkedIn, no doubt. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, thank you so much, sir. That was all from our side. Our viewers have some question.
Please ask.
Yeah, so like, is there a number on projects that are important for getting a job?
Okay. As I said, that it's always changing. It's always changing. Okay. The this era is very unstable, I will say. Okay. After 2010, when the YouTube came, everything changed. Okay. So YouTube is a very big invention. I can say if you want to learn something, you do not need money for that. You just need the internet for that. And on top of that, you need just an either the YouTube application, or otherwise you can just directly go to the YouTube and search for the problems. Uh, so here it comes like what kind of projects you have to do, right? The most important part is first you have to understand like what type of projects had already been done by the people. Okay, so that you will be able to understand like what is the ground, right? Once you know the ground, Now you need to understand like what are on top of that you can do. You always have to find the cherry on top of ice cream. If the ice cream is already there, you have to find the cherry on top of it. So if you are not going to able to understand like what exactly the work that has already been done, you will not be able to add something on top of it. So first do your research, like what had been done already. Okay, if someone had already done something which you were trying to achieve, so do not waste your time anymore. You are not going to say अरे यार ये तो already हो चुका है, I'm not going to do it anymore. Now you have to find what had not been done so far. There are always some problems which an engineer can solve. The only thing that like where we engineers restrict ourselves is we do not find the problems. Any startup, any startup out there you will see is trying to solve some kind of problem, right? कोई भी company या कोई भी startup, they're trying to solve some kind of problem out there. The only thing that you have to do is to find some projects for yourself. You have to find the problem. So for an example, I remember there were some students of mine, they were saying that, sir, you have worked on the bionics, prosthetics. We would like to continue that. Is it possible if you can give us the groundwork? I said, sorry, I cannot give you any groundwork, but I can teach you how I did it so that you can do something on top of it. The reason being, if I'm going to give them the entire ice cream, they will only know like how to put the cherry on top of it, but they will never know how to make the ice cream. Right? So that's why I said I will guide you how you have to like develop that prosthetic arm. But on top of it, how you have to develop the entire robot system, how you have to control it with the brain waves, that is something I will be there to help you out. So I think that the most important part here is you have to find your own challenges, but do not restrict yourself. Do not say to yourself कि ये already हो चुका है and I will not be able to do this. कि मतलब मैंने already कर रखा है तो मैं क्यों करूँ? First, try that which had already been done, and then add the cherry on top of it. कि अब इसके ऊपर मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? That is your project. First, you have learned what had already been done, and secondly, you did something on top of it, which you can say this is strictly my work. It belongs to me. That is a part of me which I had done. I have submerged myself to understand like what more I can add on top of it. So these are the things which are going to which are going to put you at some other level compared to those students who had done exactly what the things were there in the market. Just one example of it. During the during the lockdown, I have received thousands of CVs for the internship in my company, and I can say 90% of the CVs were more of like we had done some kind of image processing, some kind of COVID detection. They all were the projects which are easily available on the YouTube, on the GitHub, right, on the XYZ websites as well. If you are going to do the easy work, then how can I trust on you that you will be able to do any difficult work which I'm going to give you? So what I did, I just put all these CVs on my right hand side that I do not want these. I want only those students who did something new on top of it. If everyone was saying we had done COVID-19 detection, I want to know what more you had done on top of it. If you had also done, it's completely fine, but what more you had done on top of it. Because everyone is doing COVID-19, what more you can do. Right? So these are some certain things which you have to learn about. You do not want to be in the herd, you want to go alone. That is something very difficult, very challenging in the very start, but later on it becomes a part of you that describes you specifically. और ये person ने ये किया, बाकी सब ये कर रहे थे. So these kind of words you are going to listen after some time in your life. So that is something really gonna help you out. Yeah, actually, anything else?
Yeah, sir. So, do you value hackathons for skill development?
Okay, like I don't think like I got the real question. Values of hackathon, you mean?
Yeah, like, is it useful to participate in hackathons as a part of skill development?
I will suggest that whenever you are going to have a challenge now, accept it. whether it's in the form of hackathon, whether it's in the form of internship, whether it's in the form of project development, whatever it is, whatever is going to come in your plate, you have to receive it. The reason being, these 4 years are the part of your life where you cannot say no, where you have to learn that yes, I am going to accept it and I'm going to give my best. The only thing is, क्या challenge real में आपके लिए challenge है कि नहीं है? This is the thing which you have to consider. For an example, I had seen people, they used to go to all the different hackathons, okay, and they do not know what exactly they want to do. For example, I used to go for the robot wars. That was my cup of tea. My friends used to go for developing the games, the developing the app. Okay, they were not a big challenge for me. I found that यार ये सब तो हम कभी भी कर सकते हैं. But robot wars are something मतलब जिसमें time consume होगा. मतलब I can develop an app as well for the robot war ना. On top of it, that is going to be a challenge for me. मतलब developing an app is itself a challenge. But if I'm developing a robot as well as an app, that is a challenge on another level, right? So you have to understand if it is really challenging for you or not, or it's just like something XYZ. This is doing like my friends are doing this, so I should do this. No, you should have to understand क्या ये मेरे लिए positive होगा कि नहीं होगा, क्या ये मेरे को support करेगा नहीं करेगा. Then only these will be having the values for you. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, sir. A very few companies come to engineering colleges, especially tier 3. So, how to get placed in hardware oriented companies,
Yeah,
especially in
great
tier
question
3?
you have. I think this question is something all the tier 3 colleges are having problem with. But I think the problem is not companies are not coming there. The problem is the students are also not trying to reach to the companies. Right? Why the student is highly dependent on the college? The call you are giving fees to the college to learn from there ना. You're not giving the fees to the college कि आपने starting में ये कहा था कि आप 100% में placement कराओगे तभी मैं इस college में आऊँगा. Have you asked for that? You have asked that if I'm going to join this college, will you give me the learning? College said yes. We will give you the exceptional learning over here. We have good teachers. They showed you some kind of record. The students were placed in XYZ company, but it's not the real part for which you have joined, right? So you need to understand there are alternative ways of like finding the jobs. If companies are not coming to you, you have to reach to the companies. As I said, for the internship in DRDO, the same thing. You have to find the network. I remember there was a girl from Chandigarh University. She sent me a message on LinkedIn that was like nearly 1,000 words long, and she described everything about my company. And I was like, shit, इतना तो कभी मैंने भी अपनी कंपनी के बारे में लिखा जितना इसने मेरी कंपनी के बारे में लिखा है. I was so impressed with that girl. Like within few seconds, I replied to her, "Yes, you can come from tomorrow onwards." She said, "Sir, I am from Chandigarh. Can I work from home? Like virtually, can I work?" I said, "Okay, fine, but tell me like what like in which field you want to work." She said, "Sir, I want to work in embedded systems." I was like, "Sorry, यही एक field है which I cannot allow you to work from home. You have to come to the office so that you can do the testing. You have to have some hands-on on the hardware itself." What I found is there was a problem with that girl. She was able to write really good, but she did not have the hands-on experience. And during that time, I think everyone was looking for the internship to work from home. That persona of her restricted me to allow her to work from home. That I think persona of a person also matters. Okay, so first her networking was really good. She was really positive. uh, Within few seconds I was just like, okay fine, let her, like I want her in my company. जो पर्सन मेरी कंपनी के बारे में मेरे से ज्यादा जानता है या मेरे से ज्यादा लिख सकता है, I want her to be here. In future I want her to represent the company, maybe the case. But this was like more of like कि एक तरीके से आपके दिमाग में आया in the brain that अरे यार this is a person, she can support your company, she can represent your company. But the point here is she want to restrict herself in other domain. तो यहाँ आपके restrictions कहीं show ना हो. The person is looking forward to connect with you for the entire life as well. For the entire life as well. I was in Dubai last week to represent my country as well as my startup in the Dubai Expo. Okay, so we were in the India Pavilion representing India as well as my company, January. There was a company, My Ways as well. These students have won from IIT Kharagpur, I think, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bombay. There was a competition for the startup. Like that startup won from IIT Bombay, I think. uh, myways.ai, you can definitely go and check what they do. They used to connect students to the companies. They have a very smart way of doing it. You are going to choose a number of options, and then the companies, like there will be a list of companies, and I think you are already connected with a number of other companies who are doing the same thing. Okay. But they do not charge anything for their service. That is their positive point. What I found is she was really positive as well. That girl was really positive about her company. She was explaining me about all the different technologies, MI and AML, like AI, like how they have used it, how they are supporting students. I got connected with her with the on the LinkedIn, and what I found, she is from management. She did MBA. Her bachelor's is BBA, and she was so sound with the technology. Now that I was so impressed, I was like, एक MBA and BBA student जिन्होंने कभी टेक्नोलॉजी से स्टडीज नहीं करी है, she's so sound with AI and ML that she explained me the algorithms of the same. Sir, these are the algorithms which we have used. Our algorithms works in this fashion, and this is how we used to like segregate different students, and this is how we used to support them with the different companies and so on and so forth. I think if you know about a field so deep, so deep that others are going to be more of like, यार इसको इतना पता है, मतलब how, or otherwise like she's so different, she or he is so different from others, then only you will be having your value. आपकी वैल्यू तब रिफ्लेक्ट करती है when you are the master of something. So get yourself not the master's degree, get yourself a logo tag of that I am the master of this specific field. Here you are going to be super hit in whatever field you are going. Yes, anything else?
Yes, sir. One last question. One advice you would like to give to young entrepreneurs?
Well, I think the advices change in every 5 years. Okay, for right now, I will say like if you have the challenges now, so do not think कि यार ये challenge मुझे restrict करेंगे. My friends are not there with me. My family is not there with me. I haven't learned that much. I'm not smart enough. These are the negative thoughts which you are going to get now. These are the negative people which you are going to have in your life now. Just try to understand that these are temporary. You have to understand these are temporary. 4 years back, if you are in fourth year, if you're in third year, 3 years back, when you haven't joined the engineering, एक डर तो होगा अंदर से ना कि यार मतलब इंजीनियरिंग होगी तो क्या होगा, क्या मुझे जॉब मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगी, like will I be sound enough or not. But now if you're in third year or fourth year, I don't know, but now I think you have some idea कि यार कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाएगा लाइफ में. You're gonna do something. मतलब ऐसे नहीं तो ऐसे, by hook or by crook we are gonna do something, right? We are somehow gonna get some job. जॉब नहीं मिली तो मास्टर्स करेंगे, मास्टर्स नहीं मिली तो उसके बाद जॉब करेंगे, वो नहीं मिली तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्टार्ट करेंगे. So you need to understand at whichever point you are right now in your life. Okay, there, if you are positive, there will be all the positive things that are going to happen with you. Restrictions will always be there. Restrictions in such a way, पैसा है क्या तुम्हारे पास इतना काम करने के लिए, इतनी नॉलेज है, टीम है, पापा सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, friends हैं, and so on and so forth. Thousands of things which are going to come across with you like in your life. The point here is, are you ready for that challenge or not? The real question is not if others are supporting you, if you have the knowledge or not. The real question is, are you ready for that challenge? So I think the real question you have to ask from yourself, are you ready for the challenge or not? The ride is going to be really bumpy. Ups and downs will be the part of the life. तो या कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. Anything else?
No, sir, that was all. That was really insightful. Ankush?
Okay, so now that's all from our audience. I don't see any questions anymore. So I hope our audience enjoyed the session and took some great learning experience from Ankit Gupta sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was a great learning experience from us, and we hope to gain a lot from this. And thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tushita, for organizing this session. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for joining, sir. It was truly an insightful session.
Thanks a lot. So yeah, if you allow me, I can leave. If there is anything else, just let me know.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir,
Yes, sir.
again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Have a nice day ahead.
You too, sir.